Okay, I'd like to call the October 19th Board of Finance for North Stonington to order, please. With us tonight are Gary Anino, Carl Johnson, Mike Anderson, Paul Simons, Dan Smith, Amy Friend, and that's all online. Second agenda item, public comments if there are any. Seeing nothing in the room. I don't see any hands online. No. Okay, great. Third item is the school project short-term repayment plan. There was some significant discussion last week, last meeting, I should say, about this topic. The thoughts are that we weren't going to vote. Selectman Mastriani has found some language in a state statute that suggests that we, as a Board of Finance, need to vote on this, which actually feels right to, I think, the entirety of the board. So, that will be our plan tonight. Brett, I don't know if you want to say anything right now before we start our discussion?
No, I believe Christine and Bob have the statute we found.
Yep, okay. Thank you. Just wanted to give you the opportunity and thank you for finding this for us. Christine, I know you've given us some information here. I don't know if you want to open the discussion up and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay, so included in the materials in front of you and that were emailed out in advance, you have what's the projected payoff according to the bank on 10/21. So the total is $1,841,930.80. So that has interest of $46,683.91. With the current amount that we have in the bank account and leaving a small amount to keep that bank account open, we would be asking the treasurer to transfer $975,736.27 from the general fund into the account for the school modernization project. The other sheet that you has the projections for the undesignated fund. The top part of that sheet has everything that was approved in the prior fiscal year. The first line underneath that shows what pre-audit we think the beginning balance of the undesignated fund will be due to surplus revenue and unspent funds on the general government side. So that puts it just over 3.6 million. And then we have items that are going to town meeting on next Monday, 6:30 for additional appropriation for the STEEP project and deobligation of projects to go back into the undesignated fund. So this would still leave the undesignated fund after the loan payoff at over 10%. And this does not include any potential give back from the Board of Education from last fiscal year, since that has not been audited and we aren't certain on those figures. So we left that as an unknown because any extra money is just that extra money.
Thank you for that. We had some extensive discussion last week. What other thoughts does the board have now?
So I just want to be clear on the unlike last week when we transferred from undesignated to a certain line item in the budget for the STEEP grant. Where we went from whatever AA 223-001 to C120. For this particular transaction, it's going from the general undesignated fund to the project, which is not a line item in the budget, correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Because I think that's what, I mean, people might have that question, why is this not going to a vote? It's not going to a vote for, as a referendum question.
Right, because it's not an expense, it's a receivable. So we are just moving the money to pay off the loan, knowing that the money will be coming back from the state.
Okay.
But it's not a new expense for the project.
I guess my other question was, we have capital items in our budget. Was that short-term loan listed as a capital expense
No, so the capital expenditures are just our regular capital projects, whether we're buying a truck, doing repairs to town-owned properties, those are all within the capital. This was not because it's not part of the budget, it was part of the project. And then our long-term debt is what's in our redemption of debt, not the short-term for this project.
That makes this all a lot, I think, more clear for me and for us, and I think if the taxpayers ever had to go back through the minutes and, or the recording of this, they could understand that this is not a switching over in line items where they're required to go to the town for a vote, but you guys brought it to us and we're able to say yay or nay on bringing it out of the undesignated fund. So I'm good.
Thank you, Mike. Any other questions? If not, I'd entertain that motion. If someone's willing to make it.
Hi, hey folks, sorry, Paul. I apologize for being a little late. Can you just catch me up real quick if there's gonna be a vote? I don't want to vote on something I don't know.
Yeah. So Brett was able to find a state statute that indicates that the Board of Finance needs to vote on any expenditure from our undesignated fund. So we do plan on having a vote here tonight.
Okay, so the Board of Finance has to vote on it, but it doesn't go to town meeting because,
That's the understanding. So unless there's another state statute I'm unaware of, like the last one, we will not be going to a town meeting.
Because it's, Sarah, it's not an expenditure, so it's not an additional appropriation or a transfer. It's just paying off part of the school project that's already been at a town meeting.
so would that apply? Sorry, Christine, would that apply to any loan that we chose to pay off then?
No, it only applies to this because there's a prior authorization at a town meeting for the $38,550,000 for the project. If we had another project that went to town meeting on its own that was separate from the regular budget, then this could come up again. But it would have to be something that was separate from the regular operating budget, not one of our regular capital projects that are part of the budget itself.
Okay. Okay.
And Sarah, did you hear my question and the conversation about that afterwards?
No, I only heard that you thought it was very clear.
Basically, my question was, is this a line item in and of itself in our capital budget area? And it's not. It's part of the project that's already part of a pre-approved a town voted on allocation. So they're basically just paying what's due under that vote. So it's not a switch from one line item to another line item.
Right. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it other than I feel very uncomfortable with it that even if procedurally it's correct, that we could get blowback from the town. Because we're basically wiping out a third of our undesignated fund to do this. So it seems like something that should have gone to a town meeting, but I don't have like any more questions. I guess that's just my sort of immediate reaction. But thank you. I'm sorry for delaying the proceedings. Thank you for catching me up. I appreciate it.
So Sarah, it needs to be viewed and explained more as a receivable than as an expenditure, because we're just using the money now to pay something off that we know is going to come and be reimbursed. It's not a new expense. It's not writing a check to a contractor for doing work. It's just paying off a short-term loan.
Yes.
The only new
Yeah.
expense is interest.
Yeah, no, I understand. Did the Board of Selectmen vote on this and approve it as part of their? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I make a motion that we move forward and pay the loan down.
Do you want to indicate that amount, please?
Just,
It's,
Is it the 1841930.80? Is that the right number?
It's the,
1160313030?
no, it's, 975,790.69.
975,790.69.
perfect. Do I have a second? Or discussion?
Since we're taking a large chunk out of the undesignated fund for an undetermined amount of time, do we realize that it could affect our bond rating if we do need to go out and get further funding for other projects in town? And was that explored?
So not to my knowledge, I'm not sure. Full disclosure, I did talk to our former chairman on that topic. There may be some impact, but, we wouldn't know that for any kind of certainty.
Did he have any concerns about that? Taking that much money out possibly?
He didn't because it still stayed within our guidelines. So there wasn't any kind of heartburn on his part.
So no matter what, as long as we stay within our policy guidelines, no matter what, that's what they're gonna basically base it off of.
Again, not a banking executive, but,
True, and
I
he
think-
kinda is, but
I think we're in a good place
Okay.
fiscally. So, not ideal. We would love to keep it big and fat, but it's not where we're gonna be.
okay, thanks.
just on that, Dan, I would say that, carrying in this debt forward, not paying off the note, carrying it forward and having that extra interest may be just as detrimental to our bond rating. So I think it's,
I know when I
kind of
talked,
one at six and one half dozen the other.
I know crafting this policy for the undesignated fund, when I talked to Dan about it, it was one of the things where they truly look on how much money you have in cash reserve is based on your rating. That's one of the big things. Every town's gonna have some form of debt. We have a bunch of debt with, fire trucks and everything else, but that cash reserve is a main thing that they look at, just like your home. They look at how much cash reserves you have in your savings account, in your checking account, when you're buying a house or any other purchase.
It was a good question, Dan.
Yep.
I agree with you completely on the question and that was, and we've always had this discussion from Dan Spring right on down to Paul, that you're right, that undesignated fund, that healthy undesignated fund really goes a long way in showing the banks that we have a healthy fiscal profile. But we're still, above our, what was it, 8% what's our policy?
8.5.
8.5 is our policy and like, it's coming back.
and if you look in the audit, it says the amount of money that we can borrow for school projects and other things, and we're well within the amount that we can. And the fact that we have those long-term investments and debts is actually better for our bond rating because it shows that we're paying on a regular basis on those. So I don't see any negative impact on them.
Yeah, I have no problem with debt, like I said, every town has got debt. It's just, yes, we are paying on the debt, but they also look at the cash reserves and like we were just talking about, I feel comfortable with it. As long as everybody's on the same knowledge base of, that's what we're all thinking.
Okay, thank you all. Sarah, was that
Yeah, sorry, I have one more question. Is there any, did this happen before as part of the school? Were there other short-term loans that we paid off with this procedure, this process?
No, we had cash flow from the project at that time that we were using to pay off the loans. So since we've closed everything and we've gotten the last of the funds from the state, this is the first and only time that we're in this situation.
But you did you pay off any loans using the cash flow, or you didn't have to because you had the cash flow from the state?
We had short-term notes. This is not the first short-term note, but this is the first time we're using the undesignated fund to pay it because we had cash flow either from reimbursements from the state or from taking other loans.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, if no further discussion, we'll go ahead and take it to a vote. All in favor of the motion on the floor, say aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 votes for. Who is opposed?
I'm not opposed, but I'm gonna abstain.
And, yep, sorry. That
I'm
was a long
abstaining.
Pause, I'm sorry. Abstentions, 1. Yep, so 5, 0, 1, the motion passes. Okay, thank you very much. Next agenda item is to set the 2023 meeting schedule.
So I have a draft prepared for discussion. So typically you meet the first and third Wednesday of the month.
Yeah.
We meet more often in the month of March because of presentations for the budget. We also typically note the annual budget hearing on your schedule because it's related to the Board of Finance and it is one of your meetings. So January and February would be the first and the third Wednesday. So that would be the 4th and the 18th of January, the 1st and the 15th of February. In March, on my draft budget timeline, you need to meet on the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. So I don't know if you want to schedule the 1st as a regular meeting, knowing that you're meeting 4 more times that month.
1st of March, you're suggesting.
Then in April, May, March dates were 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th. So that would be every Wednesday. Then April, May, and June would be the typical. So April 5th and 19th, May 3rd and 17th, June 7th and 21st. April 17th would be the budget hearing. Then when we get to July 5th is the day after 4th of July. I would highly encourage you not have that meeting. So we could meet on July 19th. Then in the past, you have had 1 meeting in July, 1 meeting in August, and 1 meeting in September. So it's up to you if you want to continue that pattern. So you could do July 19th, August 16th, and September 20th. And then 2 meetings in October, that would be the 4th and the 18th, 2 meetings in November, the 1st and the 15th, and 2 meetings in December, the 6th and the 20th.
Okay, on the surface, please go right ahead. Dan.
I know in the past, we talked about like September and October, just going down to 1 meeting possibly.
So September, I think,
We are in 1 meeting, but in October, we were only gonna go in 1 meeting. Really nothing.
I think it's fair.
I don't think we need to have an October meeting unless we need on the special meeting. We can always call a special meeting and then we can tailor that schedule to what we need.
Okay.
And then go to November and December as 2 and 2.
Any thoughts from the team on fewer meetings? Thumbs up, heads nodding.
What were the dates of the fewer meetings you were saying?
So Dan's
ta-
suggesting October. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Dan's kind of hard to hear. Like everybody else sounds fine, but Dan sounds far away.
Oh, that's the first for me. October would be only one. I'm throwing it out there, just having October as 1 meeting. If we need to meet, we can always schedule an emergency meeting and everything, and we can
Yeah.
support that, but
October.
I don't see the need. I think in the past, we've canceled probably more October meetings than we've actually probably sat, unless something pressing is out there.
I'm with you. I wouldn't be surprised if we cancel some of the summer meetings. So the 18th, does that work for you, of October?
So you guys would be in favor of meeting the 3rd Wednesday of the month for July, August, September, and October.
I think that's good. Short of
Uh,
something needing more meetings, we'll stick with that. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I don't need to keep interrupting. I don't have any
it's okay.
concerns.
It's your meeting.
I don't have
Sorry.
any concerns with that. I know the selectmen will tell us if they have business that they need us to vote on and we can call a meeting. So I would like to say maybe we can preset the agenda for the 18th and that we do the budget schedule on the 18th. So
Yeah,
we're
forward.
not coming back, like we're coming back, getting right into it, but
Okay, that sounds good.
And are you guys okay with not meeting March 1st since you're gonna meet 4 more times in March?
I'm good with that.
Yeah, that would be funny, I think. No,
We're gonna end up going.
Right.
We do it every single year, so.
no, I got you. So what are the thoughts that we would have to vote on this, or we just would assign, we just all nod our heads and
You
you,
vote on it, just say that you would accept the meeting schedule as discussed, and then I'll just need you to sign it at that.
gotcha.
That's gonna go out, right?
Yes.
What was that?
Just make it, I couldn't write that fast.
Oh,
so-
gotcha.
If you want me to review the dates, I can again. So that was
No,
January.
no, no.
I'm
no,
fine.
no, no.
Okay,
I'll make the meetings.
Just send it out. Thank you.
We lived here for the month of March.
I know that.
I know.
Right.
A motion?
I make a motion that we accept the draft schedule after we receive it and can review it and then get back to you, Christine.
then you're not motioning to accept.
Okay, then send us a draft and we'll get back to you. But I mean, it's really hard for me to you rattle them off.
It's the
whole year.
first and the third
That's-
Wednesday.
Yeah, first and third Wednesday for.
So if you guys want to keep it on your agenda for the next meeting, that's fine.
Go ahead, go ahead, make a motion.
Say it
Yeah.
slow.
I was going to.
Yeah,
but I
please,
chose not to.
No, please, would you mind, please, one more time?
So it was January 4th and January 18th, February 1st and February 15th, March 8th, 15th, 22nd, 29th, April 5th, April 19th, May 3rd, May 17th, June 7th, June 21st, July 19, August 16, September 20th, October 18, November 1st, November 15th, December 6th, December 20th, all at 7 PM in the North Stonington Education Center, with the budget hearing being held on April 17th.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the 2023 calendar for the Board of Finance as proposed.
Second.
There you go.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye-ish.
Aye.
Thank you. 600. Thank you very much. Okay, review of minutes,
Before that,
please.
and I don't know if it's the right time. We had talked about. Yeah, let's shove it in here. A template for the people applying or coming to the Board of Finance for allocations, which Sarah did a great job drafting last year. And I think we ought to take the time to finalize it and get it out to the groups so they submit using the template this year rather than 8 different formats. And the other thing, I'd like to get a message out to the people that get allocations from the Board of Finance. I would like to see how the money from last year was utilized. And it shouldn't be a narrative. We should say, we should be able to see. you know,
2 columns of numbers.
Yeah,
That'll be part of the annual report. I sent a template out to them for the revenue and expenses budgeted versus actual to be included in that.
when they ask for the next budget allocation, I would like them to describe or go over how they utilized the previous allocation. I think it's part and parcel. It's important to understand the groups when they come to the Board of Finance to augment their budgets, how they're utilizing.
Okay.
And
so-
even though it's in the audit, I think it should be part of their request for the upcoming year. They should reflect on what they received in the previous year and how they utilized.
Okay, so that needs to be a part of that template.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think,
Or-
I think Gary, it's the template was like a cover sheet, but I think we need to give specific instructions that we want the budget to be, we want these columns. I don't know if what does it come out in? Christine, is it something that can be exported in Excel? I mean, I don't want to make it onerous on people, but I would like it to be in a format that we can actually read and review.
So it's gonna have to be 2 separate. So we build the budget in Excel now. So either I'll need to just take the content from their sheet if it's all incorporated in one form, or it will need to be two sheets, whatever the form is that you guys are asking for, and then just the numbers on something separate. We can make it either way.
Okay, all right. So we're not covering that tonight, right, Gary? You were saying for a future meeting?
Yeah, I would like to do this before we're against the wall on it.
Right.
And we've
Yeah.
got plenty of right now to get, so we should probably have it as a recurring agenda item until we clear it.
No, that's fair.
Because I could take a pass at that in Excel. I think I originally created it in Word. So we could do like an Excel template and then they know like we want 5 columns or whatever. We can just ask for what they want. They can append it to their existing as long as we see the data in that format, then that's what works.
Thank you, Sarah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take it as an action. Thanks.
When would we have to have something like that to go out to the boards and commissions and everybody?
So the ask is gonna go out mid-December,
All right, so we
so before December.
have basically 2 meetings
To sort it out.
to sort it out. Because what I don't want to have here is what we've heard in the past, you're asking a lot, we haven't had a meeting, there was snow, you know, this, that, you're asking all this information, you should have asked us earlier. If we want this, we gotta hammer this out in 2 meetings or even 1 meeting and just get it done. This is what we're gonna do and throw it out there to the masses because I don't want to hear it in where we're sitting here in January, still trying to figure it out and everything, and they're gonna say, well, sorry, you know, we have to stick to the schedule of what we're being told.
Right.
We did that, we tried to do that, we almost got it last year, the year before, we tried to throw it out there and everybody kind of had an issue with it because we were kind of late to the game.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
All right. So we'll add that to an agenda next time. So I'm going to be the first to admit for the review of minutes. If they came out electronically, I did not. Anybody else have an opportunity to, if not, I propose tabling that unless you have enough votes to approve all those minutes. I'll abstain because I did not review them.
There was 2, one from August and one from October 5th. I wasn't here for August, so I can't. I have reviewed them just 2 seconds ago.
All right.
They're in the Microsoft Office
Gotcha.
email.
Okay. Let's table that till next meeting, please.
Thank you, Amy.
Yes. I was looking, I was on the edge of my seat to read those two and I forgot. Sorry. Last agenda item, public comments, if there are any.
Mm.
Nothing in the
I have a-
room.
I have
Oh,
a question.
Okay.
Are we not actually doing the budget schedule tonight then, I guess? Is that just,
I'm sorry, I missed that. What was that?
so we're not doing the budget schedule tonight? I think I may have assumed that was what the Board of Finance schedule agenda item was.
I guess I'm still not understanding the question.
No, the agenda item was just to set the meetings for 2023. The selectmen are gonna look at the budget schedule at their next meeting, so we can send it to you guys at your next meeting for your thoughts.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Oh, gotcha. I see. Sorry about that. Public comments, did we ask? Nothing in the room. I don't see any hands up there. Gary? Your last item?
second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye, 600. Thank you all for the short meeting and closing out this loan repayment query. Have a good night.